It's your boy Manny Cash here again with another video. Same book, same subject, sales, right? And how we can get better whenever we're talking with somebody over the phone or even just in person, right? Just small details that can help you improve on your career, right? On your business, on your acquisition part. Because mainly what I do, I'm more of the head of acquisition. Closing deals and sending offers and talking to people, right? Whether it's in person or with the phone. So in this video, I want to talk about something really, really important as well, which is listening, right? The art of active listening. Because see, if you're not having a conversation, I can hear you, I can hear what you're saying, I can listen to you, but if I'm not analyzing, right, or every word or every sentence that you're telling me, and it's just gonna make it harder for me to, spark a good conversation with you. So let me break it down and let's see what the book says, right? So it says the most important sales skill, which is listening. It says every great salesman knows that listening is the most important of all sales skills. Most people think, it's funny because most people think, because I've been called like that, and I'm reading it. It's true though. Look, it says most people think that a smooth talker is the best salespeople. I was called the other day, yeah, you're a smooth talker, but actually I think I'm more of a good listener, right? I listen and I actively listen to what the homeowner is saying, right? To the problem, the motivation, and why they want to sell, the condition of the property, their timeline, right? So we go back here. Most people think that the smooth talker is actually the best salesperson, but in reality, it's those who have mastered listening and identifying people's true motivations are the ones that become successful. See, so it goes back to what we do as wholesalers, right? Whenever we ask the question, hey, Mr. Seller, I'm just kind of curious, right? It's a good property. I mean, based on what you're telling me, yeah, it needs some work, but, and is it actually in a great area? I'm just kind of confused. Is there any reason why you're looking to sell the property, right? And then just shut up and let the homeowner talk. Just ask questions, shut up and listen. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for some one reason, right? So you can listen more than what you talk. So the homeowner, remember, they proud of the property. They like to talk, and remember, homeowners like to talk also of their problems, right? People like to talk about their problems most of the time, right? So then we got here, why is listening the most important in sales? And then for one simple reason, and it's what I just told you. The first is that most people want someone to listen to them. Wow. And it's true, guys, because when I'm talking to somebody, I want somebody to listen to me. I want you guys that are watching this video to listen to what I'm saying. So put yourself on a homeowner's perspective, right? You're the homeowner now. I'm calling you and I'm asking you for your property and this and that. And then let's say you got something to say to me. You'll want me to listen to you as well. So that's just the main reason, right? And it'll be surprised. Now, don't overthink it too much, and don't over listen too much, because it can happen that I've had a homeowner one day, oof, man, this lady could talk, like she could talk, like it was like a long ass call, but you have to find a way to just bring the conversation back to where you want it. Always bring it back to where you want it. So, but listen. Active listen, look for for bullet points, like problems, motivation, things like that. So that way, make sure you write down, right? You get your paper, write it down. Other thing is that whenever you're listening to somebody over the phone, think this way. Think that same conversation you had, you're gonna repeat it to somebody else. Okay? So let's keep going over here. This means let me see. This means that by being a good listener, you will differentiate yourself from your competition. Again, talking back about that deal, that call that I had live the other day, it was a 25-minute call, guys. 30-minute call. See, and I promise you that we talked maybe like 10 minutes. It was just property, which is the property, numbers on the property. Was it payoff, was it reinstatement, and things, what's going on with the property. But the other 15 minutes, it was just it had nothing to do with the property. It just mainly personal and live. So people like to talk to somebody that they can talk to, they can listen. Somebody's listening to them, right? So that's that. Another thing that I wanted to address, guys, is that I've noticed that in my calls, the good ones, the good deals, they usually last a good. The calls are between 15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes. So I was just, brainwashing, like brain thinking, right? I was like, why are my calls longer? Because honestly, in our guys, that we have in the office, sometimes their calls are 5-8 minutes. And then I was just thinking, why are my calls longer? And I'm thinking, well, maybe am I asking the different question? What am I doing differently? Well, we're all asking the same question because we have the same script. But the difference is that I let the homeowner talk, and I just let the homeowner talk. I agree with that. And I just keep moving and moving until finally, like, they find themselves that they're done talking about themselves, and then I go back to the property, which is what I want, right? So for me, a good conversation with the homeowner is between 20, maybe let's say 10, 15 minutes. It depends. It can go longer. It can be shorter. So how most people listen? It's just funny though. How most people listen? They think about what they're going to say next. A lot of people, I remember, I knew somebody that he was asking me questions like, hey, but what am I gonna say next? What am I gonna say next? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about what you're gonna say next. You should already know. Remember, you have to be 2, 3 steps ahead of the question that you're going to ask, right? So interrupting people. Like if the homeowner is talking, don't be like, well, no, let him talk. Let him finish the sentence. Don't interrupt people, right? That's just bad listening, interrupting people. It says here, repeat the customer's name all over your head so you don't forget it. Just write it down. What I do is just write it down real quick. That's it, so you don't forget it. So now let's go back over here. Tips to become a better listener. It's as I just said, all the conversation that you guys are listening with the homeowner. Think it this way, like you're going to pitch it to somebody else. Like the same conversation that you had, you're going to talk it to somebody else, to your friend, to your wife, to your husband, whoever you're going to talk it to, right? So that way you can remember and taking notes, right? And then, yeah, that's pretty much it in this part. We're going to go ahead and cover objections in a minute. But active listening, guys, I can't stress that enough. You have to be a good active listener. Because what if you're talking to a homeowner and all of a sudden they're telling you their problem, they're telling you why they want to sell, but if you're not writing those stuff down and you're not listening to that, how are you going to go back to, hey, Mr. Seller, but you told me, hey, Mr. Seller, you told me that you're looking to sell because of the taxes are already too high, you can't afford the taxes, or you're going for foreclosure, right? So you use that as your leverage. You use the same problems that they told you in the beginning. You're going to use that just in case the homeowner is being tough. You say, hey, Mr. Seller, but I don't understand. I mean, in the whole conversation we had, you told me that the taxes are too high, that you're facing foreclosure, and all of a sudden you telling me you don't want to sell. I mean, what's going on, I understand that, what you told me. So, you can use that as leverage to negotiate with them, right? So put him on the spot. I always say, man, if you haven't talked to me in person, I always tell you, put the homeowner on the spot, man. He has nothing wrong with that, right? Put him on the spot, call him on their bullshit, straight up. And then, but of course, be respectful and always listen to the problem and listen to what they gotta say. It's your boy Manny Cash again, cashing out. Let's go.